The Polestar 3 is here, and Tesla's Model Y may finally get the competitor that it's been waiting for. It's the third in the automaker's lineup, and it's a play for what's probably the most competitive segment in the market right now. It's a luxury SUV that just so happens to be all-electric.
SUVs and crossovers are big business, with everyone from families to luxury chasers to performance fans in the market for more space and more speed. The options if you want an entirely electric model have been fairly slim there, but I get the feeling we're about to see a whole flood of entrants very soon. The 2024 Polestar 3 is a good example.
It's certainly a striking SUV, 21 and 22-inch wheel options and new headlight design for Polestar 2. This is going to turn some heads on the road. Now, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I think a Model Y is still more practical. It has more cargo space and that 7-seat option, whereas the Polestar 3 is just a 5-seater.
The Polestar argument is that if you need 7 seats, you'll head to the Volvo dealership, where there'll eventually be a 3-row electric SUV based on the same platform. By sticking to 5 seats and pushing the wheels and dual motors out to the edges, you get a huge feeling cabin in the Polestar 3, despite what's a relatively low roofline for an SUV. We're really seeing the automaker's design language come into its own here. A lot of electric cars, including the Model Y, look like they've been super smoothed out in favor of aerodynamics. The Polestar 3 manages to keep some creases, and it looks far better for it, I think. The downside is range. Polestar expects its 111 kWh battery to be good for around 300 miles of driving on the US EPA test cycle. A Model Y is rated for 330 miles, plus it's faster. A Polestar 3 with the Performance Pack does 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, but the Model Y Performance takes just 3.5 seconds.
Now, while Tesla's been progressively removing its various sensors on the outside of the car in preference of a camera-based Tesla Vision system, Polestar's going in the opposite direction. There's a whole bevy of different ultrasonic, camera and radar sensors built all around the car, some of which are hidden here in this smart zone sensor cluster where the grille of a traditional internal combustion car would be. An optional pilot pack with LiDAR will add a 3D sensing scanner onto the top of the Polestar 3, and that's provided by Luminar, which is a company that co-parent Volvo has invested in. Now, it's not going to turn the Polestar 3 into an autonomous vehicle, at least not on day one, but the company's talking about unsupervised highway driving in the US and some other markets by sometime in 2024.
At launch, you'll get hands-on adaptive cruise control with lane-keeping assistance, similar to what Tesla Autopilot currently offers. Polestar's big plan, though, is to take human drivers out of the equation, at least on select stretches of road. It'll be a level 3 system, effectively allowing the person at the wheel to tune out while the Polestar 3 is driving. Polestar's approach to autonomy is definitely more conservative than Tesla's, though to be honest, most of the auto industry is playing it safe compared to Elon Musk and the full self-driving beta that some Tesla owners are currently experiencing. It's worth remembering, though, that despite the name, Tesla's is still a level 2 system that always involves the human driver supervising.
If there's an area where Polestar might have the advantage, it's in the interior. Now, Tesla fans are very enthusiastic about their cars, but even the most loyal will probably admit that sometimes build quality just isn't where it needs to be. On the contrary, Volvo and Polestar, they know how to build a solid interior, and I really like the design of the Polestar 3 too.
Both cars rely on a huge central touchscreen for just about all of the controls. Tesla's software is an in-house effort, whereas Polestar is using the latest version of Android Automotive OS. Both support over-the-air software updates to bring new fixes and features over the lifetime of the car. Polestar adds a dedicated driver display, however, and I think its switchgear feels more premium than what's in the Model Y. The Polestar 3's cabin materials are also worth mentioning, with sustainable fake leather, wool, and ethically sourced real leather options. Polestar will even be marking the seats with just how much CO2 was involved in producing those materials, to underscore the environmental impact of the cars we choose to drive.
Of course, we're still more than a year out from the Polestar 3 arriving on roads, and while a year used to not mean much in automaker terms, as we've seen with Elon Musk, nowadays roadmaps can change on the power of a tweet. By the time the Polestar 3 hits the road, it could be facing a very different Model Y by then.
That could also mean a more expensive Model Y, since Tesla has been nudging pricing up in recent months. Currently, you'll pay $89,440 for a maxed-out Model Y. The Polestar 3, meanwhile, is $83,900 for a fully loaded trim, with the Performance Pack adding $6,000 to that. The biggest question will be whether, with its true torque vectoring and emphasis on handling and performance, the Polestar beats the more practical Tesla out on the road. For that, though, we're just going to have to wait and see.